Okay, I've now added the next three parts to my puzzle. As you can see here, I've now got 6 blocks and I've got the wooden base. And what I'm going to do here is add the wooden frame. There's different ways of doing the frame, and we'll look at those in class. But for this one, I'm going to repeat the same style of frame that I had here and add the mitered frame, which means that the angle of the frame, if we look at this from above, the angle here should be 45 degrees. So if I turn this one off, you can see that the wood would be cut at an angle so that when they're put together, they all meet like so. In order to do this, you need to first of all decide how thick the piece of wood is that you're going to use. The stuff that I'm going to use is 10 millimeters by 10 millimeters. So I'm going to repeat what we did before by right clicking at the top of the modeling tree where it says unsaved, and I'm going to create another new component, and this time I'm going to sketch with the line tool, but I want to do it on this work plane here. If you see that I don't want to sketch on the top of the jigsaw, I don't want to sketch on the side of the base, so I'm going to select this area here, which is the base flat work plane. I'm then going to start by sketching a line from one side of the puzzle to the other. So I'm going to click, it should be 120, and then I'm going to sketch a line parallel to this line, and I'm not going to worry about the length, I'm just going to sketch like so. I said earlier that the thickness of the wood was going to be 10, so I need to set the distance from the edge of the puzzle to the distance to the line to 10 millimeters. To do that, I'm going to go to Sketch, Sketch Dimension. I'm going to click the first line, and then I'm going to click the edge of the puzzle, and that will give me a dimension line. And as you can see, that it's currently set to 15. I'm going to alter that, adjust it to 10. Now I need to draw the line coming from the corner of the puzzle to the line, and I need to make sure that this line is at 45 degrees. So I'm going to use my line tool, and I'm going to draw a line, and as you can see, I've got a length is the highlighted blue box, and if I spin the angle of the line round, you can see the angle of the line is shown in the other box where it says deg for degrees. So I need this to be at 135 degrees, like so, and I'm going to click, and then I'm going to do the same at the other side, 45 degrees, perfect. The extra bits of the lines can be trimmed away if you want. It's not essential, but I'm going to do it just to demonstrate how it can be done. If you go into Sketch and Trim, we can trim off the ends of these lines like so. It might come up with an error message to say that these were used for dimensions, but don't worry about that, it's okay. I've now finished this profile, and I can say Stop Sketch, rotate round so that I can see the angle, and then I'm going to extrude this by 10, because like I say, that's the profile of the pine that I'm going to use, and I'm going to say OK. If you want, you can right click at this stage and change the appearance to a nice pine. So if I close down glossy paint, go into wood, and I'm going to look for pine and apply like so. We have two options here. The first option is to recreate this part over and over again, which could be quite time consuming, or we can copy the component from the list in the modeling tree and move it around the design so that we have another 3 of them. The beauty of doing this way is that if you make any edits to your frame later on, if you decide that you want to rebate it or change it in some way, whatever change you make to one of the pieces of the frame, it will automatically be duplicated onto the other 3 parts at the same time. So I'm going to just change the name of this to frame 1, like so, and then I'm going to activate the whole model. This is crucial. If you forget to do this, this process will not work. Activate the entire model, and then right click on your first frame part and say copy, and then right click and say paste, which is there. When you do this, it will paste the new part over the old one, and then you're able to use the arrow tools to move it. As you can see, I've moved it towards the left hand side here, and then I can use these tools to rotate it. You need to make sure you do this accurately, otherwise there will be gaps. So I'm going to move it back into position now, and sometimes it's useful to change the angle to do this. So I'm going to look from above, and I'm going to move it to the right, and I'm going to move it down, and that is now in the exact position that I need it to be. So I'm going to say OK, orbit around and check that everything looks okay, and then I'll repeat this process again. So activate the whole component, right click on frame, copy the part, right click, choose paste, move this direction, rotate 90 degrees, move this direction, change the angle using the view cube, zoom in, and get into the right place, say OK. One more, right click on the frame, copy, right click, paste, move, rotate 90, move, change my view, lock into position, and that's it. We've finished. As you can see, the modelling tree shows all the individual components. They can be isolated if need be. And these separate components here are now also ready to be laser cut at a later date, which you will be shown how to do using a different tutorial.